Ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to our today's analysis. Article 1 of our 2010 Constitution that states that the sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya and can either be exercised directly or through our elected representatives, and these are our members of parliament. However, this article has been subjected to various interpretation by various understanding of the law. Ladies and gentlemen, during the demonstrations that have been happening, that's from last year, even on this 25th of this year, also this month, the people wanted to go and occupy Statehouse, and even the CS Interior came out and stated that there was an attempted coup because demonstrators wanted to march to Statehouse and take back their powers. In this analysis, we want to look into what can happen if these demonstrations are successful, if demonstrators get to Statehouse, and maybe if that attempted coup happens, what can happen, and eventually we will get to look into which is the better solution: to wait for the 2027 election and cast our votes, or the demonstration attempting to occupy Statehouse to go on. And without further ado, let's get into it. But if you're watching this channel for the first time, always remember to subscribe, like our videos, and drop a comment in the comment section. Now, let's dive into it. From what you've been seeing in other countries, because Kenya is not the first country to have demonstrators wanting to occupy Statehouse, because in other states, this has happened previously in other states where people have marched, millions of people have marched, and they have gone to the Statehouse or the house of where their presidents stay, and taken back their power. But what could happen? What are the consequences of going to this direction? Because this is not what a lot of people are not talking about. Number one, if it happens so, as we've seen in other countries, then it means that the Kenya Defense Forces will take over the country, and probably a state of emergency will be declared. Which are the repercussions that will come with a state of emergency and maybe the defense forces taking over? Because their commander-in-chief, who is the president, will have been overthrown by the people. Now, if a state of emergency is declared, then it means there will be restrictions of movement. Maybe people will not be going to their jobs. Maybe schools will be closed down. A lot of restrictions will be placed by the defense forces to ensure that the country's peace stabilizes. Number two, another thing that will happen is that you want to determine what the defense forces will thereafter decide, because at that time when the defense forces takes over and there's a state of emergency, the constitution will be suspended. So if the constitution is suspended, maybe the restrictions comes out and the people are not going to the job, then it means a very great effect to the country's economy. Just imagine our country Kenya, if on just a single day of demonstration, people count a lot of losses, people cry they have lost a lot of money, and there are a lot of damages. What if there's a state of emergency and maybe 1 month or 2 months of the country just being in that state of emergency? A lot of our economy will greatly be impacted. And that's why, if you've been watching the opposition leaders, Rigathi Gachagua yesterday or the other 2 days ago was in NTV, and he was asked about the attempted coup that the CS Interior was talking about, and he dismissed it and said that for them as the opposition, they are determined to get elected or to go into power through the vote, and that's 2027. This is because Rigathi does understand the consequences of getting the president out in maybe what they say unlawful means. It will greatly impact the economy, it will greatly spoil the democracy of our country, and that's why it's necessary to wait until the electioneering period to transition to a next leader. But the greater question that is being asked, and all of youths are asking, and these people are demonstrating are asking, is that we have to live from now to 2027. Then what happens to our solutions, to our problems? How do we find our solutions? This is where now our elected representatives come in. Because if there are people who have also failed Kenyans stably, our elected members of parliament. Should our elected members of parliament listen to Kenyans on the 25th of June last year, demonstration could have not happened, because they could have gone and advised the president, they could have gone and discussed in parliament that the people have said that they don't want this finance bill, and we have no obligation rather than to listen to them and make the necessary amendments. Come back, hold the meetings, rechange the articles, but they refuse to listen to the people who elected them, and that's why we saw their houses being torched. That's why you saw some of them for quite some months being chased from funerals. And that's why we saw Kenyans very angry or bitter towards them. So if the members of parliament could really take their role and listen to the people who elected them and honestly do represent their opinions in parliament, in terms of the economy, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of jobs, in terms of what is going on the ground, then we couldn't be in the situation where we are. But saying that we march to Statehouse and take back the power, the consequences will be greater much. We will lose the country. Your job will stand because there won't be government. If you're employed, then it means your job will be suspended because there will be a government to pay you. For quite a good period, your job will stand. For quite a good period, schools will be closed. For quite a good period, there will be deliberation of what will transition to the next election. So, as for me, the consequences of taking that part are much wear and bitter than waiting to weigh our opinions in the 2027 general election. And that's why I support the opposition opinion. Matiangi has talked about this, and he's been saying that in such moments, when people are very bitter, it's very easy to lose the country. And I say that Rigathi Gachagua also aid the opinion of let's wait to 2027 so that we can weigh in our opinion. Other ladies and gentlemen, you can tell me what you think about this in the comment section. Do you think the best solution is to wait to 2027, or what is the alternative? As I stay safe, have a nice day, and be well.